All right, here we are closing out our your first show at the Academy. Not really this is my second year in a row, but the first year it wasn't what I expected because I'm used to AAOPA.
Yeah.
But it is fun seeing the different students. We met a lot of students here.
A lot of students.
I live really close to UT Southwestern, so it's cool to meet these students. And I'm planning to go back and volunteer as a patient model in the fall as a BK. So
hell yeah.
It was cool meeting them, but I know that we had talked about some interesting tech that was coming about, and we got to meet Sydney from
the
Vessel.
CEO of Vessel. Yeah.
No, I've seen her product. I actually talked to her a few years ago about it, and it was cool to see it in person. While it's still in development, it's a little bulky.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just room for so much to grow. We got Martin Bionics, we got Click Medical, and now we have Vessel. And then also my good friend Zamago, Prosthetics, over in Slovenia, I think is where he's at. It's a flexible all-in-one socket. So seeing this kind of technology coming, it's kind of hopeful for our future and being adaptive athletes, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Vessel product is like something that for me is like not as much of an issue because I don't fluctuate that much. But definitely I feel like it has a place, and like, we've both been in the clinical setting where it's like, yeah, this person is right for a Click Medical socket, something adjustable, but they probably can't handle the dial or something like that. And so this system does give them the benefit of not having to do that. And so definitely cool. Like you were saying, it's not on the market yet, but cool to see that. And like the thing that I like keep kind of falling back to at these shows, like you were saying, this show is just way more educational. So products probably aren't being, like showcased quite as much. That's more of an AOPA thing. But Limber is always at these events, and Limber, like their booth is always rocking is the one thing that I noticed. Austin and Walker are always over there having a good time.
Texas Ranger.
And so it's cool to see that, but it's interesting because it's like a product that I haven't even been able to try. Even at my last job, it was like I signed up. I wanted to start using it and adopting it because it's a fully 3D printed system that probably isn't something that, like, for me, that I want to wear every day. I love my knee. You can't ever 3D print a knee. That's a long, long ways away. But to have something that, like, I wear at the beach or something that I don't have to worry about is really nice.
Yeah, and I know that they were talking to my friend Josh Bogle in Hawaii. He was one of my friends there when I lived there, worked in North Shore Prosthetics, and he's a bilateral BK. And actually, he got his legs stolen. He got his car stolen while he was surfing, and his legs are in there. And so it was a big deal. It was on the news. And, living and working in Hawaii, a lot of the first, patient's first leg, they're always like, what about my beach leg? What about my beach leg? And that just gives them an opportunity to get like a backup leg for showering, for traveling when you're showering, or showering when you're traveling, and also the beach legs. You have something you can take to the beach, and you don't have to worry about getting sand in your carbon foot and wearing it down and then washing it out. And it's an all-in-one kind of solution. They might not be for everybody, but we were talking about children's hospitals. Children go through prosthetics so fast, and insurance doesn't want to cover it because of that. And that's why both of us got involved, and so everybody could move.
Yep, for sure. And like the So Everybody Can Move event, like we were saying this at AOPA in September. We were saying this last month in Vegas, but like was definitely the highlight of the trip again. Sure. Probably the best like activation celebration that we've attended yet. Like,
it was huge. It was bigger than AOPA.
They showed a premiere of the documentary movie. Shout out me. I got in for a little clip, a little snowboard clip.
We were all tearjerkers crying. I looked up, and I right when I saw the snowboard, I was like, I reached over and said, you, Allie?
So that was cool. But the movie in general, and just like, like I've said it, but like Kyle and Nicole, man, it's like every time that we interact with Kyle, it's just like,
he's amazing energy.
It's like magnetic. It's like, wow, how could I be like these guys? I want to be like these guys when I grow up, and like, have the passion and more so the energy that they have.
And if we are going to make movement and physical activity and access to this amazing technology and the freedom to live our lives as a right, we're going to need every single one of you. This movement is possible, as you've heard throughout this entire documentary, is because of every single person. I want to invite you to be a part of this. And if you're not in a state coalition, you're not a part of our national leadership team, you're not, getting involved as a partner, join us. Join our leadership team. Join our state coalitions. Join us as a partner, because it's going to take all of us to make this happen.
I've been in AFT 16 years as of Thursday or Wednesday. And so we had that time when I got my leg cut off. I was motivated. I wanted to do all this stuff, but I felt like we weren't getting the traction I wasn't getting the traction I needed back then. So it's good to see this going now.
Yeah. No, I've gone through roller coasters of motivation,
Yeah.
you know, of like, yeah, I really think this is awesome. I should get onto it. And then, you know, like a physical like wave of exhaustion
Yes.
comes over you, and like it's mental as well. And it's like, man, doing anything is hard.
Training.
And we all kind of go through those peaks and valleys, I think.
And
for
that's
sure.
one thing with me and Alec, I brought this up. We were having a little heart to heart there, and it's like, we motivate each other.
Yeah.
We both want to make the same content. We both want to help people. We want to make a difference in legislation. So when we get in that room with Kyle and them, it's just, and those little girls on stage last night,
I was crying
dancing.
the whole time.
I was crying the whole
like,
time.
It's, you know, like anytime that there's going to be a little girl involved, I'm done nowadays.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So
reminds you of your daughters.
Yeah, there's no way for me. And like 2 weeks ago, I met a young girl that's 2 weeks younger than my daughter, and she's missing her leg above the knee, and like helping her family and stuff. It was like all kind of came full circle for me at the party. And it was, yeah, I was trying to hold it together, like next to Jack and everyone.
Yeah.
Like, don't just become a weeping baby. But
and then Lori on top of it. Lori's Jack's wife. Man, she is so full of energy.
She's an upper extremity amputee.
She's been her whole life. So watching her cheer on these girls, and she had to go through that as a kid. And
she's fought it her whole life.
Yeah, and she, you know, for her to be able to use a prosthesis now and having the care and treatment she probably had at a younger age when it wasn't available, wasn't as good.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. And seeing her just, you know, I know we're on to something with So Everybody Can Move. And,
for sure.
And we have the legislators in the room with us saying, you're on to something. And I'm really excited about starting Texas because our governor is actually in a wheelchair. So I really think Texas shouldn't be slacking on this.
Yeah.
We can really make something happen before the next election, I hope.
For sure. Yeah, no, it's definitely something that is just, you know, hopefully it builds from here. A lot of like skepticism I hear around it is like bills like this have been introduced in certain states before. I don't think there's ever been like a national coalition that's really pushing it together.
Yeah.
But like even in Utah, like things have been passed and people have fought really hard for it. But then like, you know, turnover happens in the government and like bills, you know, priorities change and then those bills get erased and things come back full circle.
Unfortunately, they get added in with other bills sometimes. And so people don't want to pass it for other things. So I haven't been part of the legislation of this very long, but I hope that we could create a path where we can be separate from some other things that people don't want to vote for and we get lumped in with them.
Well, and that's what feels so cool about the whole movement in general, but also Nicole and Kyle is like, it does feel like, yeah, this is the plan now for this specific like initiative and these states, and like, let's get, you know, other prosthetics covered. But it does feel like they're trying to build a foundation for continuing to adapt and grow legislation for more prosthetic access. And I think that they understand that. And that's like the really refreshing part.
You've been a part of it longer than I have. You've been to more meetings. I helped out in Hawaii, but we just kind of got Limb Loss Awareness Month for April. We went down and met with Josh Green, the governor. It was really nice. Got to shake his hand. He came to our Access Surf in Hawaii. We host once a year. And it was just amazing seeing him there giving a speech. But is this part of like DME coverage as well? Are they helping with wheelchair? I know they're helping with orthotic braces. But are they helping out with like people who need special wheelchairs? Right
now, it's really a lot of it is left up to state, like each state and each team to kind of determine what they want to focus on in their bill. But like in Utah, we're really focusing on none of that extra. Like, of course, all of those things are needed, but once you start adding in, like, we want to have full DME coverage. It muddies the waters. It makes it so that, you know, it's harder for us to get the prosthetic coverage that we need.
Yeah.
And so we're keeping it very strictly on like just prosthetic coverage and even like what we're specifying in there.
I think that's probably smart because you don't want to put everything together and have to go back and make changes when we can just hopefully build on the momentum each year.
Well, and it's like, you know, the amount of money that people spent, that insurance companies spend on like wheelchairs compared to AFOs, compared to prosthetics, like they're all different. So once you start bundling those together in a legislation package, it kind of gets difficult to discern like where's things going, you know? And so,
and on that note, I know that one of the ladies we were talking about last night, she was trying to get microprocessor knees. She got mechanical knees and she needed a wheelchair right now because she's not able to get around. And as you know, and I know from working in a clinical setting, we always tell patients that want a wheelchair or a power chair, don't get one because you get that and you're not going to get your knee.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunately, it's unfair because you might need that chair for your bad days as you're going through therapy. And most time therapy is only 21 days.
Right.
And that's not enough for a bilateral AK or for an AK.
I did so much more than 21 days. And it's like, you know, I had a wheelchair, I had a walker, I had crutches, like I had all of the things as I was going through my rehab. And really, like, most of us still need those things even after we're done with our rehab. Like, you know, just because I have a prosthetic leg doesn't mean I don't need a wheelchair at times. Like, my family's going to go to Disneyland this year. I'm going to take a wheelchair. Like, I'm going to be pushing around, you know. It's like, we need those things. But it's like what led me to starting my channel and everything else is like, there's just not enough education on what it's really like. And I think, you know, if enough like able-bodied people out there just understood like that I don't have 100 legs and you don't have 100 legs and the technology isn't, you know, up here, like what you see in movies, like maybe they would just support, you know, rider representative. Maybe that would push them to it because, you know, like right now the Olympics are going on. You know, you see us in commercials all the time and all of that stuff. And that is amazing. Like, you know, it's actually my friend Brenna, like that I knew way back when I worked at the National Ability Center. You know, like Brenna is the top female Paralympic athlete, like Paralympic snowboarder, probably in the world. Like she wins gold or silver every year, every Olympics, you know? And so she's amazing. And like, she's in a Hershey's commercial. She's in a Honda commercial. Like all of that is awesome. And like, good for you, Brenna. Like way to go get it. And like, I hope you're getting paid and like getting after it because somebody should be. But also like, you know, like Honda, since they're like putting out stuff like that about the Paralympics, they should be supporting so everybody can move. Hershey should be supporting so everybody can move. Like if you're going to do those things, if you're going to take inspiration from us, get back to us, help us out a little bit more. And so I think that is hopefully where we're trending towards and can continue to educate and advocate for our community.
Talking on, you know, Hershey's and them sponsoring it, like it's not free to do this legislation stuff. We're taking time out of our day and it takes money to get these politicians together. And so we're going to need some help from these companies. If they want to not use us, if they want to help promote us, we need more than just, hey, we're here, you're in a commercial. We need some financial backing. Well,
and it's, you know, like so everybody can move in general. Like we're working on the exact numbers of like what it would cost taxpayers in Utah. But like, you know, the like ballpark of most of the ones that have been passed is like 1 cent. 1 cent is what it will cost for you to have an extra leg in Colorado. And it's like, so, you know, if we did have a little bit more of that backing, like you're saying, like everything I do for so everybody can move, I'm not paid for. I don't want to be paid for it, but it like would be nice to be able to maybe have more access to things that like finance could provide and different things like that. So getting funding for anything is always the difficult part, but it does feel like there should be more from these companies that are like profiting off of, you know, amputees, you know, and that's how I've always felt to some degree.
Same, because I know like I got my first running leg from the company I worked for, and well, I'm not complaining. It was a hand-me-down leg. It was brand new, but it was something else that someone else couldn't use anymore. I couldn't get the funding from anybody else, and you know, I didn't know much about the industry, so I'm going with what I'm told. There's 5 different running legs on the market, so I just kind of got told this is what you're going to get, and this is what you're going to receive, and it might not have been what I needed at the time too.
But it's like my snowboard leg still is a hand-me-down leg. Like I bought the knee used. I got the foot given to me by another amputee. Like I don't have like the nicest setup by any means. I actually have a setup that's maybe older than me. But it's like, that's what I got and I make the most of it, you know, and same with my running setup. I never run, but like it was given to me by my clinician. They had it sitting in the office forever. And it was like that, you know, awesome that I was able to get that and like experience running. But it's like still when I try like new running legs at demos, I'm like, man, maybe if I had this, I would run a little bit more because it's a lot more comfortable than what I have, you know? But I mean, so everybody can move is an awesome event. But you know, we also just doing the work stuff. Obviously, Allard had a couple, you know, classes and like, you know, working the booth. It's always fun to work the booth and just talk about the foot. Obviously, hang out with Jack, talk with other customers. But yeah, kind of, I guess, you know, like shifting gears a little bit off of the event and more onto what you brought up a little bit earlier is like it was when we got here was your 16-year anniversary. I did just want to talk about that a little bit because that day for me is always like, it's like not a bad day, but not a good day. It's like a very weird, like cloudy day in a lot of ways and like introspective day. And to be here with all that we're doing right now and like I was once I got back to the room that night and we were, you know, I realized like, oh shit, it's David's 16 year. Like it's like it's just a lot going on for you, and
Yeah.
just interested to.
And when you said that, you sent me, I was laying in bed in the room in here, and I was like, it kind of hit me all at once. I'm like, I felt like we're actually making a difference. Like, I felt like I chose to cut my leg off 16 years ago. My accident was 19 years ago.
Yeah.
And so it took me 2.5 years to decide to do it. And I was scared to do it because I didn't know what lied on the other side of amputation. And then I immediately got involved in the field. Like you said, those highs and lows going up and down. I just didn't know where I can make a difference at. And now we're here. It's like you said, full circle. I really see my power now is like I have most of what I need, but the people down below me, the people coming up, they don't have access to. I have an old water leg that I can use, but it's not like a limber leg that was designed for me to go in the water.
Yeah.
It's just a leg I don't care about. And like, it works for me, but other people don't have that becoming new amputees. And
Right.
so I want to build that pathway for them to get everything they want. Because if you don't, I know a lot of patients who can't afford a leg. In Texas, Medicaid doesn't cover prosthetics. So they spend a year, 6 months trying to get a leg. And by then, that motivation's gone. It's just like they have to rebuild that to get up over that hill. And then they get there, and then there's a little bit of low. And it's like, it's exactly what we're talking about.
Well, yeah, like people sit in the chair that long and they get contractures, and then they get a leg, and it's like they have to work on other problems before they can even start walking. But it's also like it's like we haven't known each other super long, but it's like, the little bit of time that we have known each other, it's like, man, you've been able to contribute and have an impact your whole life, long before you lost your leg, and like the day after, you were having an impact. But I feel that way all the time too, of like, what am I doing? Just spinning my wheels. And I know every other amputee out there feels that and like goes through that. And I think that it is important to like, for all of us to remind each other that like, whether you're working in the industry and you feel like you don't get enough attention, or you feel like you should be doing X amount of things, like, or you're just like, I'm just trying to figure out my next day. Like, that is what we're all like around each other to do is to remind you, like, you've always had that value, man. You've always, like, for me, it's like we talk all day, every day now. And it's like, if I didn't have David to talk me off a cliff every now and again, like, I'd be struggling.
I was going to bring that up. It's like, I have friends that tell me they're proud of me, but it meant so much more coming from you. Someone else has walked in my steps, that understands the highs and lows, and like, it really did mean something to me. It was nice hearing it. And while I hear it from other people at times, it means so much more from someone who's experienced similar trauma. Yeah. That's what we're all doing, is so everybody can move.
Right. And like, even with our content, it's like, it's, with the videos with Nick last month and everything, it's just like we should be. And we are, like, the community does, like, we pick each other up, and we're invited, like, everybody is accepting of everyone, and like, we all look different. We all have different things that we're dealing with, or different ways that we got here, but it's like, we all do pick each other up. And I think the really hard part about being an amputee is you lose your leg. You don't know this community exists. Yep. And not the way that it is. You don't feel like putting yourself out there. I was like, I don't need to go to a support group. I don't need to talk about my feelings. I don't need to do all this. And it's like, now when I go to a support group, it's 12 years after, and it's like, damn, every time I'm like, that was amazing. I should go to that. Or we come to shows and like hang out and talk to so many other amputees that are now becoming like better and better friends. It's like, this is great. It's just nice to relate to somebody that has been in the shit. Like, like last night we were both just like, yeah, I'm done. Like, the day's over, I'm done. And we don't have to like really even say anything. It's like, I'm taking my leg off and going to go lay down. Doesn't matter if the company's like going to go out to dinner, like, we're done. That's it.
Yeah. And like, it's nice to have someone else on our team, or each other on the team. It's like, we both feel the same way. We don't want to go to dinner. We just want to go relax. And I think even Jack felt the same way last night too. Yeah. And then we also have like other people come up to us, like Fuzzy. I met Fuzzy 3 years ago, and he's already built himself a little brand too with brain robotics, and he's doing para rock climbing, and like, it's good to see all the people at the shows and remind each other while we're all here. Yeah.
And it's just, like, I hope that there are some amputees out here watching these videos that like don't have that connection. And again, like, you have it in me. I honestly, like, comment on the videos, like, reach out to me. I promise you, I will talk to you. Same with David. Yes. Same with Nick. Same with Fuzzy. Like, all of these guys, we're gonna have more content. Like, if you call Jack Richmond from our last, video a couple weeks ago, like, he will talk to you. Like, we are around and we are available. And that is like why we're in this industry. It's why we do everything. It's like, we want to be more connected. We want to connect the industry more with the end user, rather than having, the middleman in between, which the middleman is always going to be needed. And we love the CPOs and everything else, but like, let's connect, let's be more cohesive instead of 3 manufacturer, CPO, patient. Like let's just be all of us together, working together to make better products, to make better sockets, to get better outcomes, you know?
It's like being in a car group and you can only write Mustangs.
Yeah.
Like we want a car meetup with everybody.
Everyone.
Every manufacturer, anybody who's a sponsored athlete. We want everyone getting together and just coming together for the cause. And, you know, the mental health is such a huge aspect of this. Because even 16 years out, like I still have those days where I'm like, I don't like wish I had a leg, but it's like, it'd be easier to have a leg today. It's like, I was hurting last night and I was like, you know, if I had my leg, I'd still be able to go out tonight. But it's like, it's good to know that even at 16 years, we think we've mastered it all. We're still learning.
No, yeah, it's legitimately like 2 nights ago, couldn't sleep. I never sleep on these trips. I was watching a movie and it's just like, I do this a lot. And it's like, I don't miss my leg at all, really. But yeah, just like watching people like run in movies or like even like, I think I was watching like Saving Private Ryan or something and they're storming Normandy. It's like it's not a like welcoming thing, but I'm just watching thinking like, man, that's gotta be so easy to like not have to do that in a socket, not have to like have your legs scooping sand, like to, you know, it's like little things like that I catch myself being like, yeah, I don't miss my leg, but like just like moving around in general would be so much easier if I did have it, you know?
Yeah, and that's funny. I have a lot of friends in Hawaii who aren't amputees, and every time we'd go to the beach or do something, like they're always looking out for me, knowing that walking on the sand with my foot shell is really hard, and I need to switch legs before I go from the house to the beach because the sand's really deep and my foot shell is going to get buried and covered in sand. It's just those little things you take for granted as an able-bodied person. It doesn't mean we wish we had our legs. It's just sometimes it'd be more simple if we did.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't wish I had it or anything like that. It's just like, man, I really took it for granted when I had it, and I wish that I could like experience it again. That's all. It's not like, it's like if I could just, you know, have it back for like a couple hours maybe and like just be able to move around and like experience how cool that is to be able to move freely. But then again, like it's given me my whole life.
That's what I was about to bring up. It's like, everyone's like, are you sad you lost your leg? It's like, no, it took me to Hawaii. I met all these great friends. I've traveled more in the last 3 years because of my leg than I have my entire life. So it's opened more doors than it's ever closed. So it's been a positive, you know, I've always looking for a way to help people and I had no idea how to do it and had zero interest in healthcare. But when I saw the mental aspect of it, I knew that I needed to be part of this. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I would just be working construction, like beating my body up and like, probably would have been a good life, but I probably wouldn't have met my wife.
Not as meaningful.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have my kids and I wouldn't have had the impact that I've been able to have, just like you, just like everybody. And I also like wouldn't be able to experience the things that I get to experience either that are very unique.
And I know we have a lot planned coming up this year. We're trying to do content. We have a lot of trips planned. I have a lot of people we want to interview. And I know we probably talked about it, but I'm building the Adventurous Amputee Mobile. And I'm really hoping I can have it done. My 40th birthday is coming up this year. And that was kind of a goal for me to at least try to attempt this. But the more we've talked about it at these shows and about your YouTube channel, it's just kind of come full circle. And like everyone is behind us for this. We have a good idea and we know we can help a lot of end users, but also help connect those businesses to those end users because there's a huge disconnect. And I'm using this company because they've been around this long and like, we just want to bridge that gap with everybody.
There's a lot of products out there. And again, no, like one product is right for everyone, but it's like, how can we get more support for the community from these companies that we literally like support and like provide livings for? How can we get more support from them? How can we get more support from a broader scale? How can we, you know, be more educated on the things that we're wearing? It doesn't mean that I have to be an expert on a microprocessor knee like Alec is, but like if I just understood like 3 things about my knee rather than putting it on and being like, yep, there you go, or whatever it is, you know, like we're just being able to have some agency in making those decisions. And a lot of people do have those agencies in having a say, but you know, if they had a little bit more education, it probably would be helpful. And so we're definitely onto something and you need to start doing more content on your YouTube as well.
Yeah, I have a YouTube, but I haven't been posting on it, but I post a lot of content on LinkedIn and Instagram. And like we were talking about earlier, I just need to clip that, ship that over to YouTube. And when I'm building the RV, I should be picking it up here in the next month or so. I really want to focus on that. But one thing I have been doing, which I haven't posted any of, is I've been sitting down in the RV when I'm going to look at it and like shooting content. So I have so many ideas and like sitting down here with you is like all these ideas are going through my head. So I know as soon as it gets to my house, I'll be sitting there thinking, dreaming about it, but then it'll come up like, oh, I want to do this with the channel and I want to help this person. And this is the first place I'm going to go. I know I've probably talked about it, but Challenge Alaska and Alaska is the first place that taught me to snowboard.
Yeah.
And they had a little shop set up in the back. And one of the guys there, he is a below elbow amputee. So I started talking to him and told him I did prosthetics. And I was like, let me check out your adaptive equipment. They didn't have a Troutman. They didn't have an oven to pull plastic. I was just, my technician in my head immediately went to like, we got to find someone to give you a Troutman. We got to find someone to give you these tools for
Get
prosthetics.
what you need.
So we can modify this stuff when
Yeah.
people come, and we can make sure everyone's able to experience what it's like being on the slopes. And I know you spend a lot of time on the snowboard, and it's very motivating to see, especially an above knee amputee. Watch his videos. Watching him snowboard, like if you watch me, I'm fairly new. I ride a one wheel, but you make it look so easy.
Thanks, man.
And I know that didn't come easy. It took a lot of work.
It took me a long time of adapting my equipment, like getting my body right, understanding like the movements, and I'm still like trying to improve all the time. But it is like, for me, that's my running, that's my like everything. And it's a therapy for me, but it's always nice to hear that it looks nice too. I appreciate that.
I think that's something we both are working towards because, like you said, it took you a lot of time to get yours dialed up. Now, you couldn't take your setup and get the fuzzy by chance.
No.
Different body types, different style skiing or snowboarding. I think we'd like to bridge that gap and be the ones at those clinics saying, okay, this is what worked for us. This worked for David. Let's figure out something for you. And then with the support of the manufacturers, we'd be able to do that.
Yeah, well, and that's, you know, especially with snowboarding, it's like I've spent so much time modifying, like literally making a couple sockets, like, you know, changing it, tweaking things, making it better, making it worse, you know. And it's like, now I have learned a lot, and I do feel like in certain like sports and activities, it's like, yeah, let me make you a socket. Let's like get with your CP and like try it out, because I think that this would function better for you in these things. And I definitely would like to do that. But, you know, it's just nice to have those. It's nice to have a friend like you.
Yeah,
and,
it is. It
always,
really is. My best friend, which I don't know if I've talked about before, but he's the one who's like cut my leg off. We had a little bit of that at first, but he went down like kind of a little bad path for a while, and like he wasn't as motivated. And it's good to have someone like you in your life, or my life, that's motivated, that wants to do all this stuff, that wants to get out and help people. It's refreshing. Yeah. It's really refreshing.
Well, like you're saying, like for both of us, it's like if I know that like you want to do it, it makes me like feel like I have to do it. And so then it's, you know, I can't just go lay down. I have to like edit that video, you know? And so yeah, it's just nice to have somebody that pushes you in that way a little bit. And yeah, it's like, this has been a good show and like fun, but it's been, you know, it's mostly been fun because again, we get to hang out, we get to do all this stuff and get to be out in the community and kind of see what's going on in the industry, see all our friends and stuff. But yeah, it's just always, we always have good conversations and it's refreshing to be like, yeah, David understands and it's going to be all right, you know?
And I know we're going to try to wrap it up here a little bit. We're going to some editing to do before we get on the plane tomorrow. But I know we're both trying to get involved in some events coming up. What was the boot camp I was talking about in Texas with the kids?
Kids camp, yeah.
We'll edit that and check it. But yeah, I know Vinny was interested in letting us get involved in that. And so I know kids are the highlight of this industry. It's like you see like that little girl on the stage last night. And it's like, all right, this is why I'm doing this.
Yeah,
this is why. So I know some events we want to come up and get involved with. And if there's anything you guys out there want to be involved in or want us to be involved in, like we're all about it. Whatever we can do.
Yeah, we definitely, we want to get involved in a lot of the different type of events, probably at some point holding our own events and doing different things like that. But yeah, just the more we can do. I mean, obviously we want to like diversify content too. We want to have things like this. I still want to do like product reviews. I want to do like a lot of different things. We got a lot of different things we're thinking about and working on. So yeah, just continue to hopefully follow along, subscribe for sure, because it definitely helps out. And yeah, push David to put more content out on his YouTube.
Yeah, and then obviously commenting. We're going to read all those comments. Share, like, comment, you know, all the stuff, the routine. But also ask questions. We're here to help, and we want questions, and we want to be able to talk about that on the next episode.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that like we know everything either. It's like, if you ask a question, I don't know. Maybe I at least have a resource to help me figure out the answer, you know, and like get it back to you, or maybe not. Maybe you'll help me learn something too. And so it's all a win. But We've been here at AAOP in Nashville, the Academy meeting, and check out The Adventurous Amputee at The Adventurous Amputee on Instagram and YouTube. David Slider on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Yep.
And other than that, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.